Good morning, folks, and welcome on what is going to be the final adventure of this year. And it's just going to be a little one. It's the 31st of December, and I just absolutely had to get out in the hills for one last wander. It's a nice sunny day, and I haven't driven very far. I'm in the Ochil Hills, which is just about half an hour from where I live. And I'm just going to take a little wander into the hills, see how long the sunshine lasts for, and just blow away some cobwebs before getting into some New Year's celebration. So the Ochils is a relatively small range of mountains that's pretty far south in Scotland. In fact, once you come out of the Ochils, you're just down into the plains of central Scotland. The Ochils forms a really long ridgeline, and in fact the name Ochil apparently translates from, I don't know if it's Gaelic or Pictish or something, meaning ridge. It doesn't take very long for the wooded, benign area of these hills to give way to what looks like a more traditional Scottish open countryside. And we find ourselves heading up a hill called Ben Ever, a subsidiary top of Ben Clwch, which we may or may not go up later. But you can see behind me that being the end of December, we've got some nice frosting lying on the grass. Okay, this is the summit of Ben Clwch, and this is about as high, in fact it is as high as you're going to get in the Ochils at any point. So Ben Clwch is up at 721 metres, which means it is making it into mountain territory. It's over 2,000 feet, so that makes it a Graham, or if you're on the Walk Highlands site, they've started calling Grahams Fionas for various reasons. The view all around is lovely. We've got some patches of, in fact there's a full-on inversion behind us, although there's no hills poking out of it. So yeah, the glen to the north is completely filled in with cloud. We've got patches of cloud blowing through the Ochils over to the east of us, and we've got sunshine down to the south looking lovely over the River Forth and out to the Firth of Forth. Anyway, I'm going to get some lunch out of my bag and then set off for another top. So, this little bump that I'm sitting on top of is a wee hill called Ben Buck. No idea the origin of the name. This is another subsidiary top of Ben Clwch. The Ochils was apparently inhabited by the Pictish folk. The Picts were the race of people who lived in Scotland who painted their faces blue when they went into battle. So not William Wallace, as Mel Gibson would have you think, but actually the Pictish people who were quite a bit before Wallace came along. There's been evidence of hill forts found across the Ochils from when the Picts lived here. I'm going to get going on and head down a little bit low and then decide what to do next. So this has to be one of the most unassuming cairn markers I've ever seen. It is half a fence post held up by some rocks. So this is the summit of Craighorn. It's a mere 583 metres, pretty unassuming hill. If you look behind me, you can see where we have been, and the clouds, what I saw as an inversion to the north earlier, is flowing over Ben Clwch and Ben Buck that we'd been up previously, and it's slowly making its way in our direction. I'm not sure whether it's going to come over this hill as well or whether it's going to flow down the glen, but I think we're going to keep moving and try and stay ahead of it. So, nice cairn, and off I go. Okay, that's me back at the car, and that's a wrap for this episode and a wrap for 2023. I hope you've enjoyed the videos that I've put out over the course of the year. It's not been as many as I'd hoped. There was a bit of a hill walking drought in the second half of the year, but I'm looking forward to making amends for that in 2024. I hope you have a fantastic new year. Happy Hogmanay, and I'll see you on my next adventure.